Until I came
under
out.
any injunction to declare who has watched the video? Because the video was publicly shown.
Listen, I said it was a secret
viewing
screening.
Yes.
Right? And then because I came out, he now says, yes, I showed them a secret video. But it was on judicial corruption. Right? I am saying that is not true. My information is that it is on parliamentary corruption. I'm telling you that this matter was ready to the parliament in a close meeting, and their tanks are working.
Do you have a date?
Why should I give a date? Because it's a close meeting. I'm not going to get myself involved in that.
And so no parliamentarian is prepared to go on record to
why? And they have told me, why will I disbelieve them? Why will I give my comments away?
Here we are with discussing a very serious
but
allegation.
And Kwesi Pratt have said that it exists.
They said some work is going on.
No. Kwesi Pratt says that it's been edited and it will be worse. Kwesi Pratt says that even if they don't go back to do it, what is available is more damning than the judicial one.
So what
I'm saying is, whether he's
because what Anas has said is different from what Kwesi is saying.
Whether he is one of the people whose this thing came has been defending him staunchly, right? I have got the right as an investigator to depend on those evidence I think are credible, and I think Kwesi Pratt is a credible person. I think Kweku Baku is a credible person. He will not say that something is ready when it's not ready. So when I get the intelligence that the thing has been shown to Parliament at the instigation of the presidency, so that this matter will be sealed, right? I have the right to say that.
Kwesi Pratt and Kweku Baku have not said the same thing. Kwesi Pratt says there's something which is more damning. Kweku Baku says something is going on.
And that even if they don't go back, what is already available, it's more damning. So it means that there is something available.
But that does not still mean that it has been commissioned by the government or has been shown to some people
that it has
selectively.
Listen.
No, I'm just trying to be clear. Please excuse me. So there's the claim that he's been commissioned to do a work, which he did, which work has been viewed in a closed meeting, after which the decision was taken to shelve it. So the comments Kweku Baku or Kwesi Pratt have made deal with one side of that. The man says, I have not been commissioned to do any work on Parliament. I have not shown any work to anybody which is in the line of what you are saying.
I am telling you that as a minister of the Republic, I was informed that the government was going to do that work. I don't want to give you the details of it, but I have the information and I've been told. And I left office in 2012, right? And I'm telling you that what Kwesi Pratt and this guy have said are true. In fact, there is even a publication where he was asked in 2011, and he confessed and asked himself that there was something in Parliament being done, right? And I'm telling you that is carry over from my time. And I'm telling you that that thing was shown secretly to Parliament. In fact, his own admission that indeed he showed 20 minutes of something to them.
Of a judicial video?
No. Did you expect him to say it was a parliamentary video?
Well, why?
Did you expect him to say that as a covert agent?
Unless you want me to say that he's lying, I'm just quoting what he said.
No, I'm saying that what is his authority for that investigation? Let's go back.
But he has done.
No. What is his authority?
For which one?
For the investigations he's doing.
He does investigations all the time. There's some.
Under what authority?
As a journalist, he can investigate.
Under what authority? He is investigating under an organization, and that organization cannot do it without a license.
To do an investigative job as a journalist,
he is not doing it as a journalist. Here is Tiger Eye, which is not registered. Objects are different from Tiger IPI Media Limited, right? And he's doing it on the Tiger IPI, the unregistered one. He has no license. Even the Tiger IPI Media Limited, he has no license. He should produce the license.
All right.
Right? You can't do covert operations in breach of law. And once you do that, covert operation in breach of law, and the government is silent, it reinforces the fact that you are a covert agent for the government doing their work.
What about you've addressed some of this in your article about the claim also that the judicial video was selectively focused on some judges, and then you even go ahead to say that the claim that some judges drove away Tiger IPI team is an afterthought, and that even if somebody refused a bribe, the onus is on that person to have reported. I found that a bit interesting.
Yes, because you see, if you are a judge and somebody comes to bribe you, you're supposed to report him to be arrested, right? If you friendly told him, go away, else I'll threaten them to arrest you, right? And you don't tell the court in which you are sitting, both counsel, that I have been seen, and therefore this is it, can I go on with the case, right? And 2 years down the line, the one who is supposed to have bribed you says that he did that. You have breached your code of ethics of dealing with third parties. So it does not behelp on Tiger Eye to tell us that they are incorruptible. And once they are screening the people, they should have the video, which they should show us, so that we will see whether in truth the people really turn them away or there was something more than that. I'm saying that we are not supposed to take them on their way. That's all I'm saying.
What about the explanation that for the 20 judges that the videos were not available or did not show them glaringly taking bribes? At least that information has been forwarded to the Chief Justice.
I said this myself. I said this in my article, that they have been disclosed to the Chief Justice, and that he should disclose it to the public.
Okay.
He confirmed it, didn't he, in his own article?
But that does not admit a selective.
It's a selective, because why was he hiding it?
No, he's sending evidence to the president.
Is he to determine who to petition against and who not to petition against? He's done a job. Submit everything.
He says he submitted 500 hours of tape.
My point is this judicial corruption investigation is commissioned by government to damify the judiciary, and it satisfies those people who are involved in those allegations against the government, who are still in government. Okay. Some of whom were at the presidency, and some of whom are.
Let's take your argument. Let's assume that, without admitting that government did commission Anas, why does that obfuscate the seriousness of the judicial corruption we saw? Do you think that the public is incapable of distinguishing between judicial corruption and political corruption?
It doesn't. But he's being used to suppress the gargantuan political corruption, which is worse than.
How does exposing judicial corruption suppress political corruption?
Don't you see that everybody has forgotten about the president is starting about he's going to deal with people when there are cases, serious cases? I've given you a case.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, Martin Luther King. So if judicial corruption exists and you admit it in your first
and that is why I am happy that they will be dealt with.
So, but
what nauseates me is the fact that he lends himself as a covert undercover agent to a government which is inconsistent with the constitution and the laws of Ghana.
The corruption he exposes notwithstanding.
Notwithstanding, because you see, you cannot use crime to uncover crime.
But then that goes back to your comment about the Chief Justice then.
That is why I told you in my writer that for crime, however evidence is obtained, will be used.
The city breakfast.
So that's good. And that's why I'm saying that when it comes to the prosecution,
they should use it.
And no, he will have a header.
Yes, but in terms of the disciplinary proceedings,
that's one. I support them to deal with that. I don't have a problem, and I have said that the Chief Justice will succeed.
So let me understand you. It's good that judicial corruption has been exposed, but the method that was used and the motive for exposure was wrong.
That's what I am saying.
So we should still go ahead and discipline those who were found.
I have said that.
But we should also question the integrity claim of the person who you claim was wrongly commissioned by a government who has bigger corruption problems.
I am saying that Anas has been commissioned with an agenda to prove that the judiciary is corrupt, because the judiciary has insistently asked the government to prove that they are corrupt.
But how does that differentiate from the public knowing that the executive is corrupt? Because that has been stated.
It is a government. A government is not allowed, right? A government in a democracy is not allowed to commission an undercover agent, right?
Yes.
Just to undermine one branch of government to cover political corruption.
It is not corruption perception a zero-sum game. So that if people think the judiciary is corrupt, it means that they forget that the executive is corrupt, they forget the legislature is corrupt.
It's not done. What I'm telling you is that you don't commission somebody who is not licensed, who is not acting in accordance with law, and allow him to breach the laws the criminal laws and other laws simply because you think that you want to expose one branch which has not been favorable to your government. I'm saying it is not that.
So we shouldn't expose one branch which is corrupt because it's another branch that is insisting on it.
That is instigating. That's not what I'm saying. In America,
I want you to be clear on that.
Listen, in America,
please hold on. You're saying that because the executive has bigger corruption problems, they have no business commissioning somebody to expose more corruption.
Business commissioning an undercover agent, right? They have no business commissioning an undercover agent with the sole purpose of covering up their own corruption, because they raise emotion on judicial corruption for political corruption to be forgotten.
But then you underestimate the intelligence of the public. That once people are talking about judicial corruption, it means that they forget that the executive has corruption scandals.
I am not underestimating the intelligence of the public. All I want you to know is that it is wrong for Anas, right, to lend himself as a government undercover agent. Whether he says he has told the public or not, that does not make it lawful, right? And I'm saying once an undercover agent, always an undercover agent. And as far as I'm concerned, since I have information that this judicial corruption was commissioned by Professor Mills, and he himself said that there is work undone by Professor Mills which is going to complete, and that after Professor Mills went ahead, he has friends in the presidency from Legal Resource Center who got into the center of the presidency, and that in 2013 he got a government service passport, right, while he's not a government appointee. I have the right to come to the reasonable conclusion, making deductions, that he is a commissioned government agent.
In his
closing,
he in his latest response on Facebook, he sought to say that the brightening of another candle does not dim the light of your candle, suggesting that maybe you feel that the space you occupy as Ghana's anti-corruption avatar is being threatened.
Please, Anas is not my age mate. Anas, my son is older than him, and he's older than my last daughter by 3 years. There's no competition between me and Anas. What I am against is for any citizen of Ghana to lend himself to the executive for surveillance on fellow citizens. It is unconstitutional, it's not allowable, and particularly to do it in contravention of law, LI 1517, to do it in contravention of the company's code, right? And for the government to cover it up. And it is the sum total of this which makes me to say he indeed was commissioned by the government, because if he wasn't commissioned by the government will allow him to breach all these laws, do all these illegal surveillances, and then give him a protection. I have done anti-corruption work, right? Am I protected? Are we not sitting here alone?
Are you saying there's only one approach to doing anti-corruption work?
You know, there is.
He's a journalist. You are a lawyer.
Listen, he is not a journalist. Tiger IPI is not a journalist. It is a dummy company which, with objects which are not registered, as I've read to you, not recognized by the company's code, not recognized by 1517, LI 1517, right? The government itself under LI 1517 is prohibited from using such a person to do investigations. So then it does it. Okay. All it means is that it's using him covertly to do the dirty work for it.
You made that point.
And I'm saying that having done that and allow him to do the judicial corruption, right, which I said was initiated, and those who were affected by that judicial corruption in 2010, 2011 became close confidants of the president in the presidency. And he even went to the extent of getting a biometric service
these are
I am saying
deductions that you have said.
Clearly, deductively, he was an agent of government. If on this occasion he is contending that he is not, the onus is on him to say that on this occasion we did it. And I'm saying he's been doing it for pay. It's not for free.
What is the end game for you?
The end game is that the end game is that the government should stop using private individuals to create an Orwellian state in Ghana. And I'm saying,
even if it is to expose corruption,
Orwellian state is forbidden by the constitution, and you cannot use it to expose corruption.
So when
because the president will be acting unconstitutionally.
So when President Mills commissioned him to do a job, which job you say we are all aware of, was that also unconstitutional?
It was clearly. I told you that if Prof had told me.
Didn't any of this take place while you were Attorney General?
What I'm saying is, I've told you that I was never consulted. I never would have granted him immunity. So, and I fought against such unconstitutional illegal acts. That's why I left office. You see, all those jobs you were used in doing,
you are not
without having a license under 1517.
Although
were illegal.
Yeah. But you are saying you plead ignorance.
I don't plead ignorance.
I don't know. You're part of government. I'm just saying.
Because they knew I won't agree for the law to be.
You know that you are part of the government, so you have to accept the responsibility.
I am telling you that.
Yes.
I knew that they wanted to do these things, but nobody told me. I thought they would use the police channels. In America, there's a case where the FBI went for a warrant, right? And they surveilled a judge and broke up a racketeer. I thought we would do the same thing. What is the DNI there for? What is the police there for? Why do we have to get somebody who says he's a private investigator, who is not licensed under the law?
So if Anas had been licensed, would this?
The fact is that we have never licensed private investigators.
Why not?
For good reasons. Because we don't want.
But the law doesn't prescribe them. They just have to be licensed.
Yes, but the Ministry of Interior, as a matter of policy,
must license.
No, refuses to license private investigators.
So if Anas says he had the, and these are just presuppositions. If Anas had the consent of the Interior Ministry, does that change anything?
Not consent. He has to have a license.
A proper license, which is a legal document.
That there are 134 people licensed. I've given you 3 tiger names on it, and he is not on one of them, and therefore, whether he likes it or not, the investigations he's doing is contrary to law, and the government using him is also breaching the law. And I am saying that these are all evidence, because when he and the government are breaking the law, for a political agenda, it is an Orwellian style of things.
Does the fact that some of the things you've written and said could help people who have been clearly caught receiving bribes, this information could help them go free? Does that not worry you at all?
What information?
All the dossiers you've released.
What I have released is just the law. It's just the law. Yes. I've just written what the law says. If their lawyers are you assuming that their lawyers were so stupid that they wouldn't know what I have written?
Well, none of them have said anything about his stuff.
All I have tried to do is to say that the government is doing what is unconstitutional. It should stop it, because there's no guarantee that the government is not using Anas to surveil all of us and to surveil its political opponents. Can you give me that guarantee? If it has used Anas on some occasion, what is the guarantee that it is not using him? Because it's a covert operation. And I'm saying they should stop it. It's unconstitutional.